In Taiwan Talk this week, Chef Leonardo Fonseca Celis distinguished himself by working at some of the world's most recognized restaurants, including the 3 Michelin-starred Noma in Sweden's capital and 3 Michelin-starred Hisha Franco under the world's best female chef, Ana Rocha, in Slovenia's Soka Valley. Today he is head chef of his own restaurant Fon-Cé, where he is putting his own spin on the flavors he loves. And he speaks to the challenges of starting a new place and in Taiwan, which Michelin has described as a destination worth traveling for.
The cooking style is very personal, reflecting what I would like to eat. I know that this is not somehow a new answer, but I just clearly started to identify with it. I decided to stop cooking, thinking on the expectations that people would have about me because of my background, and more cooking because of what I would really love to cook, first of all, for myself. Understanding that if I cook something that I would like to eat, I can do 2 things at the same time. Understanding that if I was going to cook something for myself, with a lot of all the devotion and love towards that, it was going to be an honest dish that was going to be served to the customers. I like to get inspired a lot on those flavors that eventually brought me a good memory, but I have that for sure a clear line of flavors that I really like. Acidity, spiciness, and bitterness, I think that's something that is always present in my food. If I cook at home, whatever it is, I will always put chili and lemon, for sure. And the flavors that represents me the most are very based on some Latin American elements that they really marked somehow my flavor memory, let's call it like that. I'm not saying I don't enjoy eating a delicious pasta or a delicious ragu or a beautiful sushi or, name it. Of course I do, but that precisely don't represent me as the kind of chef that wants to transmit somehow this kind of fire that I feel when I'm cooking my food inspired on these traditional elements, right? I don't know, or ceviche or beans or the chicken liver with the coconut. This is something that when I cook it, when I somehow think about combining these flavors, I just feel that this is showing a lot more my personality, which I don't want it to be egocentric, because I don't want that either, but I just feel that it's more honest towards my guests to show precisely the kind of chef that I am with this kind of touches that somehow represents me, the most. This is a long explanation of how to define my food, but somehow I feel that it does.
Of all the ingredients that you've discovered in Taiwan, that you might not have played with before, which ones are your favorites and why?
I'm trying to put it into the cinnamon leaves, for example. This is something that I started to substitute in my food instead of the bay leaves. It's a leaf actually that tastes like cinnamon, and it's not from the cinnamon tree. This was something that really captivated me a lot.
Why?
Because I'm used to work classically with bay leaves, right? But once I found this, I found it, for example, as a great substitution for everything that traditionally you would consider into using bay leaf, name it, a pickled or a ragu or even a sauce where you always put bay leaves. And what this leaf has done, I think for my cuisine here at Fon-Cé, has been like changing a lot the spectrum, with that. The rest of the ingredients, I have to say that I prefer to be more fair towards everything, because as I'm trying to base my food only on Taiwanese ingredients, at the end of the day, everything is this kind of ingredients that you find on the market for a normal family, right? Which is, I think, is very connected to what Fon-Cé wants to transmit also as a restaurant, right? And is to base our cuisine on what people in a house in Latin America would do, go to the market and what's in there that everybody can cook with the same ingredients, right? I don't need a special access to some very luxury ingredients. But the cinnamon leaf was the one that I would say that has transformed a lot my recipes.
In terms of influences, because the cooking in Taiwan is very, very different from the cooking in Europe, right? And it's also very different from the cooking in Latin America, except for the Philippines, which does share a lot of very there's a lot of commonalities between Philippine cooking and Latin American cooking. What influences have you been able to bring into your cooking by being here, other than the cinnamon leaf?
Good question.
I mean, the styles are very different.
Are very different to the point that I still haven't been, I wouldn't say brave enough, but I feel that I'm too new in the country, in the industry here in Taiwan, yet that I still have a lot from my culture, from my previous background, inspiration and traveling to offer to the gastronomy here before, which naturally will happen, before I start to adapt certain elements from the gastronomy into my cuisine. Honestly, I still haven't put any of that, because of what I said. I think that still my culture is so wide and big that I still have a good space to be able to show that to the customers. But I know that naturally these nice influences from here and there will eventually be part of the cuisine here.
So you've gone from working in some of the best known Michelin star restaurants, right, into opening your own kitchen, opening your own restaurant. What has the transition been like? Are there practices that you brought over from working in these establishments to working here?
The reality is, no matter how much experience and ideas you have in your mind, if you don't have enough people, it's very difficult to apply all that kind of working system, working attitude, discipline into your own restaurant, which maybe at the beginning can be a sort of frustration because you come with a bunch of, you are used to work under different direction, different attitude, and you come to a different reality, right? So I think what has been the most important is to use that kind of experience and knowledge to understand that this is a long run and that the best, at least for me to do, is to be patient enough to not deal so much with the expectations that eventually your customers will be expecting from you because of your background. So the first thing is be smart enough to understand that this is going to take some time to build the kind of team that you need to deliver the kind of food that you want to deliver the kind of service that you want to. We are a restaurant that started with not the richest investors behind, Not this, at the end of the day, this is a business, right? So we need to have certain parameters in which we need to find a balance. Do we have the knowledge to make this place into something a lot bigger? Yes, we do, certainly. Do we have at this moment the tools to that? We don't, But we know that because of this, I think, wish and capacity and eventually experience that we have, we know that one day we will be where we would like to be, So no need to start running so fast now. I just consider right now that Fon-Cé is a place that will grow naturally and in a more spontaneous way, far from the expectations and far from the pressure sometimes that we can even put ourselves because of that, because of the background, we are aware that some people will have the eyes there, but these guys, maybe they want 1 star. No, no rush for that. I think that Fon-Cé has space for other things first, and naturally we know when to put the next gear, right? So overall, the main experience that I have applied right now to this project is to be rational enough to leave the pressure on the side, I don't want to sound arrogant here with what I'm going to say, but it's not that I don't care what people are expecting about me, but I'm putting myself in my place, this restaurant, first than any other kind of expectation, precisely. I just feel the compromise right now is bigger towards my team, towards these few people that are working with us in order to create something more loyal and stronger. That with like that, I know that we will be able actually to deliver a next level of experience, to the customers.
What do you want your diners to take away after a meal here? I mean, I had the buñuelo, and I'm vegetarian, and I scarfed the chicken liver, and I thought it was wonderful. So what would you like people to take away when they leave here?
A home feeling from someone who is not from here, right? That my main point of Fon-Cé is you guys are coming to my home, and from the moment you cross that wall, I want everyone to feel that you are already in somewhere else that is not Taipei, right? With the colors, with the textures, with the music, with the warmth that I want people to feel when they come here to eat, and with a different flavor combination, something that you haven't tried before, combined with the coziness of this space, with the warmth that we will be able to give to you, and with the humility, you say, when you are like humble, right? That you just have the wish to feel welcome to my place at any time. This is at the end of the day Fon-Cé, it's a home. And I just want everyone to feel like this, You are coming to a home in which I'm very happy to give everything to you that I have. And this is for me, honestly, the most important, And that people remember these flavors as something that they haven't tried before. Always with the risk, maybe you're not gonna like, but this is a responsibility that I will always take with ownership. But at least that you say to me, I never tried this before, or this kind of flavors. This will always stick to me in the good way, of course.
You were listening to Chef Leonardo Fonseca Celis of Fon-Cé. I'm Hope Ngo. Thank you for tuning in.